All right, you've heard about it. Phil touched on it. These fears of people who are getting gouged with their plane fares, and all of a sudden, there are these logarithms out there that automatically hike prices, sky high. You have the likes of Delta and JetBlue trying to address that by offering, in JetBlue's case, $99 flights out of key cities in Florida. Don't know how that's going, but this fellow certainly does. Airline Weekly managing editor Seth Kaplan. Seth, explain that to me. I mean, you hear about some of these $2,000, $3,000 flight, the change overnight within hours. Now, the airlines like to say that was not pre-planned, that was not gouging. Well, what happened there?
Yeah, and it's a little trickier with airlines to say, where is the line between supply and demand economics and gouging, right? Everybody knows if you go to a gas station, you're charging $10 a gallon for gas. That's gouging. With airlines, they're always varying their airfares relative to demand, right? When the Super Bowl's in town, they also raise airfares a lot. And in this case, what seems to have happened is there was such a sudden surge in demand that, the people couldn't have even manipulated it if they wanted to. A lot of people grabbed up what turned out in retrospect to be relatively cheap seats. And then you have those few empty seats that are the ones that got the headlines, the $3,000 tickets. The real story here, Neil, is there just aren't nearly enough seats for everybody who wants to get out of Florida.
But what happens in those cases for those few seats that go, out there, people are rushing for them? Is there an algorithm or something like that ratchets up the price? Because some people are telling me or emailing me, I don't know how true it is, within seconds they were seeing it.
Yeah, and it's because you have all those people chasing that one seat. So, the computers don't know it's because of a hurricane. It could be because your team just, advanced to the World Series and you're trying to get to the away game. Whatever it is, in retrospect of anything, if the airlines could have planned for this, which obviously the point is they couldn't, they would probably have done it in a more orderly way where, all the fares might have been a little bit higher. I mean, you've got people flying who didn't pay much at all before it was obvious how bad things would get. And then you have those last minute seats that are selling for thousands of dollars. So not even ideal really from their perspective. They're poised to lose hundreds of millions of dollars here, depending on, whether Miami gets a direct hit, just like United did in Houston. Yeah. So it isn't something that they celebrate. But really in the end, what it is, the headline is that $3,000 seat. But the story is there just aren't nearly enough seats. Neil, the worst part is that they had fewer seats scheduled late this week than they did last week, because last week was going into a holiday weekend. This is normally a low demand period. Everybody's back in school. Not all the people want to travel. Now they're trying, to fly in bigger airplanes and that sort of thing, but not a whole lot you could do at this point.
Man, oh man. Seth, thank you very, very much. Good having you.
Thank you, Neil.